Пострел!
Ukrainian soldier takes out 5 Russian tanks and 3 armored vehicles in one day. A lone Ukrainian soldier took out 5 Russian tanks in a day using US-provided Javelin missiles, Ukraine's Ministry of Defense said. The decisive encounter occurred during a Russian attack on Ukraine's 79th Air Assault Brigade near the town of Mariinka, in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region. The Ukrainian paratrooper managed to take out 5 tanks and 3 infantry fighting vehicles with the help of US anti-tank Javelin missiles, the brigade said. Video shows the missiles striking the Russian tanks, which explode and erupt into flames. The US has armed Ukraine with some 8,500 Javelin missiles since the outbreak of the Russian invasion last February. The Javelin missiles, best described as a powerful shoulder-borne anti-tank weapon, have become a key part of the country's defense. Ukraine's defense ministry posted. American weapon in Ukrainian hands works wonders. The footage did not make clear precisely when the strikes took place, but it emerged amid reports of Russians trying to advance around Mariinka in an effort to control the region. Mariinka has suffered repeat attacks by Russian forces and is now in a ruinous state. Russian news provider Redovka insisted the invading forces has solidified their positions south of Mariinka and made no mention of losses. Ukraine's claims have yet to be independently verified, but the footage posted today shows 2 distinct hill formations that resemble those seen around Mariinka. The attacks could be a further blow to Russia's already under-equipped military. A report in The Economist claims Russia's demand for tanks is outstripping its supply by a factor of 10. The Economist added its sole factory could only make 20 tanks at a time, while 150 tanks are being lost each month according to open-source intelligence platform Oryx. Ukraine yesterday said the situation around the besieged city of Bakhmut is extremely tense, as Vladimir Putin's forces stepped up their assault to encircle Ukrainian troops. Russia is trying to cut supply lines to the city, the scene of some of the war's toughest fighting, and force them to surrender or withdraw. This would give Putin his first major victory in more than half a year and open the way to the capture of the last remaining urban centers in the Donetsk region. Despite significant losses, the enemy threw in the most prepared assault units of Wagner, mercenary group, who are trying to break through the defenses of our troops and surround the city, Ukraine's Colonel General Alexander Syrsky said on a military messaging platform. Ukraine's military previously said Russia had strengthened its forces in the Bakhmut area and was shelling settlements around the city. Over the past day, Our soldiers repelled more than 60 enemy attacks, it said earlier today, adding that Ukrainian forces repelled attacks on the villages of Yedidny and Berkhivka, to the north of the city. Ukrainian military analyst Oleg Janov said Russian forces had driven a wedge between those villages as they tried to cut the road west to Chasiv Yar. The southern part of Bakhmut is the only area which can be described as under Ukrainian control. In all other districts, the situation is unpredictable, he said in a video commentary, adding, "It is impossible to say where the front line lies." Yesterday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the situation in the city is getting more and more complicated. The enemy is constantly destroying everything that can be used to protect our positions, he said, calling his soldiers their real heroes. Analysts say Moscow's victory in capturing the city would be mainly symbolic, as the salt mining town holds little strategic value. Meanwhile, Ukrainian soldiers in the Donetsk region hunkered down in muddy trenches after warmer weather thawed out the frozen ground. Both sides stay in their positions, because as you see, spring means mud. Thus, it is impossible to move forward, said Mykola, 59, a commander of a frontline rocket launcher battery, who uses a tablet screen to check coordinates of where to fire. The spring thaw, known as the Rasputitsa, which turns roads into rivers and fields into quagmires, has a history of ruining armies' movements across Ukraine and western Russia. Reuters news agency saw several military vehicles stuck in mud. In a zigzag trench, Volodymyr, a 25-year-old platoon commander, said his men were prepared to operate in any weather. When we're given a target, that means we have to destroy it.